Hi, welcome to today's devotion from history. On April 28th of 1789, a mutiny took place on the British ship HMS Bounty when sailors revolted against Captain William Bligh and took over the ship. Now, Captain Bligh and 18 others were set afloat out into the ocean, while 16 men along with 11 women sailed on in the ship, the Bounty, until they came to an uninhabited island. Now, this island looked like an ideal place to set up a community. There was plenty of land to divide, there was clean water, ample food, and a great climate. So they sat down to make a new community. But the initial period of settlement was anything but peaceful. First off, the men like to fight and they like to shoot. Now, when you've got men who like to fight and like to shoot, and you've got 11 women and 16 men, you're going to be having some fighting. Because there were more men than women, they fought over the women. Now, after that, one of the sailors who had worked at a brewery back in Europe discovered that there was a way to make homemade liquor on the island. So he set up a crude still, add alcohol into the mixture, and chaos soon reigned on this island. Within less than 10 years, there was only one man still alive of the original settlers. It was one man with the women and the children. Now, this man began to go through the possessions of the other dead sailors, and one of the things that he found was a Bible. He began to read the Bible and found himself believing what it said. He soon experienced a conversion to Christianity, and he started holding church services and then began to teach the women and children how to read and write using the scriptures. The women followed his lead, as did the children, and soon the community began to be a place of peace. In 1808, when an American sailing ship rediscovered the island and found the mutinous sailor, what they found was a peaceful and happy community. The European world was so impressed with what was found on the island that last remaining mutineer received a full pardon and was allowed to live on in peace. Now, that's a really interesting story. Now, I love the story of the mutiny on the Bounty. I love adventure and I love excitement. But the story of that island gives us something to think about. We see what happened to a community that was formerly violent, murderous, and full of hatred. Through finding one Bible, reading it, believing it, living it, and teaching it, that community was transformed into a peaceful place. That is influence. So how about you today? Do you have a Bible? Have you picked it up? Have you read it? Have you tried believing it and actually living what it says and then teaching it to somebody else? History shows us that the scriptures have the power to transform not just communities, but individual lives first, because that is where history begins, with a change and a transformation in an individual life. So today, on April 28th, as we remember the mutiny on the Bounty, you might think about where your Bible is. See if you can find it. Pick it up and read it. You might find your history gets changed. I'll see you tomorrow on Devotions from History.